Welcome to Gray Eminence Media. Let's get into it.
Challenge the Speaker now, Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
You know, in the months that we were gone and the weeks, House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his.
Okay, so the Speaker of the House is talking about a lot of different allegations here. So let's go ahead and try to verify some of the things that he's talking about, right? So it's important to actually see if these politicians are telling the truth. And we have to be aware of any kind of partisan games that people are playing. So let's go ahead and take a look at a government website here. It's the oversight website. So Joe Biden lied at least 16 times about his family's business schemes. This is not biased, right? This is a government website. It's not a news outlet. So Joe Biden has repeatedly lied about his family's business dealings. Joe Biden claims he never spoke to his family about their business dealings. His family never received $1 million payment through a third party. His son never made money in China. His son's dealings were ethical, and his son did nothing wrong. Below are 16 times that Joe Biden lied about his family's dealings over the years. Okay, Joe Biden lied about not talking to his son about his business dealings, August 28th, 2019. And I'm not going to get into the weeds of this, the details. You guys can go ahead and take a look at this website. It is oversight.house.gov, September 21st, 2019. Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings? And he replies, I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. October 4th, 2019. I mean, it goes on and on and on. There is video footage, concrete evidence of Joe Biden lying. I mean, there's been evidence of Joe Biden lying about his involvement in the civil rights movement, right? We've all been witness to this, at least people that try to follow the news and follow politics. Joe Biden has repeatedly said that he was involved in certain civil rights activities and movements. And obviously, this was completely false. This guy lies all the time. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Republican. So Trump is also a liar, and he shouldn't be president as well. But I'm going to call out people where I see fit. And so it's very clear that Joe Biden has repeatedly lied to the American people, and that needs to be something that should be brought up and checked. To be honest, okay. So let's go ahead and continue to hear more about what the speaker has to say.
His sons and his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates.
Okay, so I mean, at least the speaker is actually trying to get to the bottom of this, right? He's saying that there's been transactions from the Treasury Department that he's been able to get a hold of, and let's go ahead and verify some of this information here. Okay, House Oversight GOP gets access to financial activity reports tied to Biden family business. Okay. So the House Oversight and Accountability Committee Chair, James Comer, a Republican from Kentucky, on Tuesday announced that the Treasury Department granted the panel access to long-sought financial transaction reports related to companies associated with the Biden family or their associates following delays and pushbacks. Okay. So you can go ahead and look at this. It's The Hill. That's the website. Um, Banks are required to file suspicious activity reports about transfers if there is reason to suspect the funds came from illegal activity. They must also file currency transaction reports for any cash transaction exceeding 10,000 US dollars. Okay, so if we go ahead and take a look at the kind of ending paragraphs here, it says, according to bank documents we've already obtained, we know one company owned by a Biden associate received a $3 million wire from a Chinese energy company 2 months after Joe Biden left the vice presidency, Comer said in a statement. Soon after, hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments went to members of the Biden family. How is this far-fetched? How is this not accurate or just people grasping at straws? I mean, you're talking about transactions that they were able to obtain from the Treasury Department. I mean, come on, it doesn't matter if you're a liberal or a conservative. This is disgusting, right? We are going to continue to use bank documents and suspicious activity reports to follow the money trail to determine the extent of the Biden family's business schemes. If Joe Biden is compromised by these deals and if there is a national security threat, Comer said. If Treasury tries to stonewall our investigation again, we will continue to use tools at our disposal to compel compliance. I mean, to me, this isn't anything crazy. This is pretty accurate, I would say, in terms of verifying some of the things that the speaker has said. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the news or mainstream news that is covering this story here.
Transcripts of the House Oversight Committee's interview with Hunter Biden's business associate, Devin Archer, were released this morning. The committee questioned Archer Monday to gain insight into the Biden family's business dealings. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge is following this story for us from Washington. I bet you I'm thinking this was interesting reading, Catherine. There's a lot of speculation about what this individual would say. And also, isn't he sort of due to turn himself into jail? He's got his own legal issue.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the story, right? Stick to the topic. I know you have your own
issues to deal with. Yes, thank you very much. So, Catherine, what do the transcripts tell us?
Well, first off, Emery, I would say that it's several hundred pages in length, and I'm still reviewing those pages this morning. Devin Archer is scheduled to go to federal prison, but I would remind people that this deposition was essentially under oath, and if he misled Congress, that would leave him open to prosecution. prosecution for criminal perjury. One of the headlines I've seen so far is that Devon Archer did tell congressional investigators that he felt that this was about the Biden brand. And he testified, in his view, that Joe Biden had brought the most value to this brand. And he also testified about these speakerphone calls where Hunter Biden would put his father on speaker when he was with business associates. He did not see them discussing business transactions, but he said this was part of a pattern of sending signals about the family's influence and also issues of access.
Why are Democrats and Republicans disagreeing on the context of the transcripts?
Well, earlier this week, we just had to rely on the characterization from Republicans and Democrats about Devon Archer's testimony, but now we can see the full transcript. You'll recall that Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman said that Archer testified that it was the illusion of access to Joe Biden that Hunter Biden was offering to these clients. But in fact, when you look at the transcript, what you see is that that phrase illusion of access is in Dan Goldman's question. It's actually not what Devon Archer testified to. He says, yes, but that's not quite fair. This was about showing that there was the signal that there's influence and access here. And Archer goes on to say that there were business meetings that Joe Biden attended, or business meetings rather, meals with business associates. And what he also said is that after at least one of those meals, money was wired to Hunter Biden that he believed had paid for one of his sports cars. So there's a lot here, in addition to these emails as well.
I find it interesting that the transcripts were released. I mean, is this everything that he said? Because often we don't get everything. We get
Ask me about this news that Speaker McCarthy has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, you know. Oh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no, oh no. Oh no.
Very glad to see that we got an inquiry going. And to me, it's much clearer on this issue than many other impeachment issues that have arisen over the time since I've been here. So I'm glad they're doing it.
They know that there is no basis for this, but they think that maybe they can cause a little chaos, maybe they can cause a little trouble. That's not coming here to do public service. These extremists are here to do nothing more than get Donald Trump reelected.
There appears to be some significant bribery. Questions here. Fake accounts set up, millions of dollars at stake that it looks like the president of the United States is compromised. That needs to be fully investigated.
Bits and pieces. Oh, what's the significance of having sort of the entire transcript available?
I think you've keyed in on something really important, Anne Marie, which is that it's not so usual to have a full transcript release, especially this quickly, because it has to go through a formal review process, which involves having the person who testified review it a final time, offer any clarifications and input, and then essentially sign off on it. So that's happened in very short order. I asked one of the Republican aides on that committee, because it's a Republican-controlled investigation, why they moved so quickly to release all of the transcript, and they felt the Democrats' characterization was unfounded. So the great thing now is that we can independently review this transcript and reach our own conclusions about what Devon Archer alleged about these Biden family businesses and whether the records also